sampai Melaka lah. Lagi jumpa nak KL.
Hi guys, welcome to Melaka, the city of history, food and culture. But today we're not just here to travel, because behind all this historical building and Instagram worthy spot, there's actually a much bigger story about Melaka tourism industry. Let's go.
But what does tourism mean?
According to UN Tourism in 2023, tourism is a social, cultural and economic activities where people travel outside their environment for leisure, personal or business purposes. Also, for your information, in 2008, Melaka was recognized as one of the UNESCO World Heritage Site because of its rich of history and cultural heritage.
But let's be honest, some tourists come for history and some come for the food. Melaka is famous for delicious local food such as asam pedas, udang masak salai, dodol, kari gula Melaka, coconut shakes, nyonya dumplings and chicken rice ball. And after trying the food here, we completely understand why tourists refuse to leave. It is safe to say that tourism helps tourists create memories, but it also helps Malaysia's economy grow. However, despite all these benefits, Melaka's tourism industry is actually facing several serious challenges. And today, we are going to expose the reality behind the dream trip.
One of the biggest importance of tourism is its contribution to the economic growth. Tourism actually generates income through tourist spending on hotels, transportation, food, entertainment and also shopping activities. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia in 2025, Malaysia's tourism industry actually contributed 15.1% to the national gross domestic product or GDP in 2024, which equals to approximately RM291.9 billion. Another important contribution of tourism is foreign exchange earning, because when international tourists visit Melaka, they actually spend money on hotels, transportation, food, shopping and also tourism attraction. This will increase the foreign currency inflows into Malaysia's economy. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia in 2024, tourism receipts remain one of the major contributors to Malaysia's service exports. Thirdly, tourism industry in Melaka also creates a lot of job opportunities. For example, direct jobs which include hotel workers, tour guides, restaurant staff and also travel agencies and transport services. Furthermore, indirect jobs include souvenir sellers, local suppliers and also handicraft makers and food vendors. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia in 2024, around 3.4 million people were employed in tourism-related industries in 2023. For instance, in Melaka, many local communities depend on tourism activities for their daily income, especially in areas like Jonker Street, Efamosa and also Melaka River Cruise. Last but not least, tourism industry in Melaka also contribute to the development of local businesses or SMEs. One thing I really love about Melaka is how tourism also helps local businesses to survive and grow. This is because tourists create demand for local food, souvenirs, handicraft, boutique, hotels and also cultural products. And Pahlawan Wak Market is the best example. Moreover, tourism also helps increase business revenues and improve money circulation within local community. To add, according to Jafar and his colleague in 2021, tourism development encourage local entrepreneurship and also improve economic opportunity for small business owners. Hence, tourism is actually helping local communities to become more financially independent.
Melaka, a UNESCO World Heritage Site, and is known for their historical landmark and cultural identity. One of their famous examples in Melaka is here, Kota Efamosa. This place represents city history and attracts many tourists every year.
However, Melaka is currently facing a growing conflict between heritage preservation and urban development.
As tourism activity continue to increase, more modern building, infrastructure and commercial projects are being developed. According to the General Sustainable Tourism Development Issue in Malacca City, rapid tourism growth can lead to overcrowding, environmental degradation, and even damage to historical building and cultural sites.
This situation may raise an important concern. If development continue grow without proper control, Malacca will slowly lose its historical culture.
At the same time, tourism is also very important to Malacca's economy. Let's hear why tourists choose Malacca as their travel destination. Why you choose Malacca as your destination to go for holiday?
This is why we choose Malacca. Our guide, Miss Almira, choose this city. Normally, we have a meeting in Kuala Lumpur. We have a free day for Friday. Because of it, this place, Malacca, is historical place. We want to visit. Also, my cousin loves historical places, especially the museums.
Well, tourism generates income for hotel, restaurant, local business, and transport. However, rapid tourism development can negatively affect local residents.
For example, local communities may experience bad traffic, overcrowded public space, noise pollution, and rising living costs. This shows that balancing tourism development, heritage preservation, and the well-being of local residents is very important for sustainable tourism. Issues such as war, political conflict, global inflation, and economic uncertainty can reduce international tourist arrival.
When tourists feel unsafe or face financial difficulties, they may postpone or cancel their travel planning. As a result, tourism income will be unpredictable and unstable. It will affect local restaurant, hotel, and the workers who depend fully on the tourism industry. In conclusion, balancing development and heritage preservation is essential to ensure that sustainable tourism for future generations.
Today, we are at Taman Sari Malacca, one of Malaysia's famous tourism destinations. One major issue faced by Malacca tourism industry is overdependence on domestic and regional tourists. Due to global conflicts and economic uncertainty, the tourism sector has shifted its focus more towards local and nearby visitors instead of international tourists. Although this helps maintain tourist arrival, domestic tourists usually spend less compared to the foreign tourists, which may affect long-term tourism revenue and economic growth. Now, we go to the interview session with one of the local tourists.
Nama saya Syaira, nama akak?
Zainab.
Zana. Akak asal dari mana?
Dari Penang.
Dari Penang. Jadinya saya nak tanya, kan tourism Melaka ni banyak orang Melayu, orang Malaysia lah. Jadinya kita patut membanyakkan orang daripada international tak? Turis international datang.
Bagi pendapat saya memang sepatutnya ialah untuk meningkatkan ekonomi kita, menarik minat orang luar juga. Kalau orang luar datang, mesti orang luar dari negeri lain pun mesti interact dengan kita juga kan.
From this interview, we can understand that relying heavily on domestic and regional tourism may create a fragile tourism growth model. High tourist numbers do not always guarantee high economic returns, which may affect the long-term sustainability of Malacca's tourism industry. Next, we will talk about another important issue that is happen in the Malacca tourism industry, which is rising operational costs. Tourism operators are facing increasing fuel prices, operating costs, and also maintaining expenses due to global fuel uncertainty. Thus, it will impact and may put pressure on the tourism business, both on operator and also tourists. Apa pendapat sekarang ni menaikkan harga petrol dan adakah dia expect pekerjaan saya?
Buat masa sekarang ni okey lagi lah. Alhamdulillah. Kita bersyukur. Cuma bazaar-bazaar macam bak ni detail ada kena ikut. Harga dia naik lah untuk detail. Yang lain semua okey. Semua okey.
Waalaikumsalam. Okay, bagi pendapat abang kan dengan ekonomi sekarang, sebenarnya kerja beca ni terkesan juga sebab sekarang orang menarik ke beca ni sebab ada anak orang. Tapi kalau turis semua dia tertarik nak naik beca ni sebab orang tak pernah tengok entertainment yang macam ni. Jadinya kita perlulah memperbanyakkan benda menarik lagi ke dalam negara kita supaya international tourist ni ramai nak datang ke dalam negara kita.
This interview shows that the rising operational costs may reduce the competitiveness and also the profitability of the Malacca tourism industry. And in the long term, this issue may affect the growth of Malaysia tourism economy.
Malacca is one of Malaysia's most popular tourism destination, but behind the beautiful attraction, environmental pollution and waste management are becoming a serious issue. Rapid tourism activities contribute to increased mobile generation, littering, and pollution in public areas. This affects cleanliness, tourist satisfaction, and the image of Malacca as a heritage tourism destination.
The increasing number of tourist and urban activities contribute to growing waste generation and environmental pollution in Malacca. Public areas often experience littering, overcrowding, and cleanliness challenges, especially during peak tourism period. Environmental issues affecting the Malacca River has become a growing concern, particularly after reports show large number of fish gathering near the water surface, indicating possible water quality problem. As one of Malacca's major tourism attractions, maintaining the cleanliness and health of the Malacca River is important to ensure environmental sustainability and positive tourist experience. Environmental cleanliness plays an important role in shaping tourist experience and preserving Malacca's tourism image. Without proper waste management and environmental protection, pollution may negatively affect public health, tourism sustainability, and the preservation of Malacca's heritage environment. In conclusion, a successful tourism destination is not only attractive, but also clean, sustainable, and well-preserved for future generations.
Malacca is famous for its historical heritage and tourism industry. However, rapid tourism development also brings several negative implications.
The first implication is the threat to heritage preservation. Rapid development like hotels and new buildings can damage historical sites and change Malacca's cultural landscape.
Oh no!
This may reduce the historical atmosphere and even reach Malacca UNESCO World Heritage status. Another implication is economic instability in the tourism sector. Global conflicts and economic uncertainty can reduce tourist arrivals, affecting hotels, restaurants, and transport services. Tourism businesses may also struggle to plan investment because tourist demand is unpredictable. Therefore, tourism development must be balanced with heritage preservation to protect Malacca's future.
Today, I will explain the implications of rising operational costs in Malacca's tourism industry. First, rising fuel, transportation, and maintenance costs have increased tourism prices, making tourism less affordable for many tourists. Besides that, some businesses may reduce services or staff to save money, which can reduce tourist satisfaction and damage Malacca's tourism reputation. Rising costs also create financial pressure on small businesses such as travel agencies, food vendors, and transport operators, causing some businesses to struggle or close down. However, positive implication is that businesses may become more efficient and sustainable by improving their operations and using fuel-efficient transportation. Next, environmental pollution and waste management issues also negatively affect tourist areas such as Pantai Terbang, Bukit Rambai, and Jonker Walk. One major implication is the decline in cleanliness and attractiveness due to increasing garbage and waste. Poor waste management creates dirty surroundings, unpleasant smells, and polluted public spaces. Besides that, pollution may reduce tourist satisfaction and affect activities such as river cruise near the Malacca River if the river appears polluted. Pollution can also harm the environment and public health by contamination rivers and harming aquatic life. However, this issue may encourage better waste management, recycling campaigns and sustainable tourism practices in the future.
In conclusion, Malacca's tourism industry faces challenges such as rising operational costs, environmental pollution, threats to heritage preservation, and economic uncertainty. Rising costs increase tourism prices, reduce tourist satisfaction, and create financial pressure on small businesses. Pollution in areas such as Pantai Klebang and Jonker Walk also affects cleanliness, public health, and tourist experience. Besides that, rapid development might threaten heritage areas such as Bandar Hilir, while global instability can reduce tourist arrivals and tourism revenue. However, these challenges may encourage sustainable tourism, better waste management, and stronger heritage conservation. Therefore, cooperation between the government, businesses, and local communities is important to protect Malacca's tourism industry for the future.
Hi everyone! Right now, I am at Malacca Sultanate Place Museum, one of the most iconic heritage attractions in Malacca. This place reflects the history and culture of the Malacca Sultanate and plays an important role in preserving Malacca's identity as a UNESCO World Heritage City. However, rapid urban development around heritage areas may threaten the authenticity and historical values of places like this. Therefore, one important recommendation is to implement strict heritage conservation and control development planning. The government should establish protected heritage zones, enforce building regulations, and ensure that modern development do not damage the historical landscape. Now, let's continue our journey as we walk through the beautiful heritage areas of Malacca. Besides preserving historical sites, another important recommendation is tourism market diversification for higher value international demand. Currently, Malacca depends heavily on domestic and regional tourists. Therefore, Malacca should strengthen international promotions and attract more high-spending tourists from regions such as Europe, the Middle East, and East Asia. Attractions around Malacca, including cultural performance, heritage streets, and museums, have strong potential to attract global visitors if promoted effectively. Now, I am entering inside Malacca Sultanate Place Museum, where we can see many historical artifacts and traditional Malay architecture that reflect the glory of the Malacca Sultanate. At the same time, the third recommendation is cost optimizations and operational efficiency enhancements in the tourism industry. Many tourism operators in Malacca are currently facing rising operational costs, especially in terms of transportation, fuel, and maintenance. These situations may increase tourism prices and reduce the competitiveness of the tourism sector. Therefore, the government should provide financial support such as subsidies and tax incentives, while tourism operators should adopt more cost-efficient practices, including energy-efficient transport and shared services. The measures can help tourism businesses remain sustainable while continuing to provide quality services for visitors. Finally, as we end our tour around Malacca Sultanate Place Museum, let's talk about another important issue is environmental pollution and waste management. Popular tourist areas such as Pantai Klebang and Jonker Walk often experience high tourist traffic, which can lead to littering and environmental pollution. Therefore, the final recommendation is to strengthen sustainable waste management and environmental protection efforts. The local government should improve waste disposal facilities, increasing recycling initiative, and enforce stricter cleanliness regulations in tourism areas. By maintaining a clean and sustainable environment, Malacca can improve tourist satisfaction, protect its natural and cultural attractions, and ensure long-term sustainability for the tourism industry. That's all from me. Bye!
In conclusion, tourism is an important contributor to Malacca's economy, creating jobs and supporting local business. As a UNESCO World Heritage Site, Malacca attracts many tourists through its history and cultural heritage. However, challenges such as heritage preservation, rapid development, and environmental pollution may threaten the sustainability of tourism. Therefore, balancing tourism growth with heritage conservation and environmental protection is essential to ensure Malacca remains an attractive destination for future generations.
Makes me feel high. She's like such a lie.